Sometimes all it takes is a cardboard box to get you absolutely beside yourself with excitement. It's new bike day. Okay, well it's not really my new bike, it's BH. It's BH's new bike, and they've agreed to send me a BH iAerolight e-bike for 5 to 6 weeks. So I've never done an unboxing video before, and I'm not going to do one now. Not least because I'm going to have to be really careful unboxing it, because I need to retain everything, because in a few weeks it's going back. But I promise I'll show you all of the exciting bits. I don't know what model they've sent, nor do I know, well, I don't know anything about, I can see that it's red. Wow. Oh, blimey. Carbon bars, never had those before. So this is how they come packaged. There's a little bit of foam wrap there. Pro logo saddle. Never my favourites, I've got to say. Oh, I can see some very shiny cogs down there. Let's get it out and show you. Let's have a look at these wheels. I should be able to get an idea of what model it is from the wheels. Oh, I'm very excited. Every time this happens, and it now has happened, this is the third bike that a company have sent me. It is honestly like getting your own bike for the first time. I've never had a new bike, but this is almost as good. Let's just get it out. So this is actually a demonstrator bike, which has been out before, so it's not absolutely brand spanking new pristine. But the bonus of that is that it's already in one piece with just the front wheel off. It's going to take me 2 seconds to put together. That is a beautiful colour. I'm going to have to show you this neat little feature though. So it's a through axle. Don't know if you've seen these before. Aero. That's a beautiful thing. Beautifully engineered. Well, for me, first things first, before I've even got the packing off, is to charge it up so it's ready to go as soon as I'm ready. And I've noticed the charge port. Here's the charge port. Now, I don't know if you can pick out the colour. It's a beautiful, deep, metallic, flecked crimson. From the screen on the back, it looks a bit sort of bronzy. It's not. It's a lush, deep red. But this is the charge port. It's aero. There it is. Now I know that they would always put a special cloth here so that nothing sticks to the frame. So it was whoever repacked this, the last tester, has stuck tape directly onto the frame, which, you know, not ideal. Well, for completeness, I need to show you the case, the natty case that the charger comes in. And the charger is a 4 amp hour charger, which in some ways isn't surprising because it's a larger than industry standard battery in this down tube, well hidden. I believe it's 410 watt hours, and it's a 4 amp charger, so obviously it should take 2.5 hours to charge from empty, which is really fast. Okay, so I can see it's fitted with the Ultegra Di2. So it's the iAerolight 1.8, which is the middle of the three that are available. But it all come with Di2. The 1.7 comes with 105 Di2. This 1.8 with Ultra Di2 and the 1.9 with DuraAce Di2. There are also differences with wheels, handlebars, the usual sorts of things. This, to me, is an absolutely stunning looking bike. We'll be doing a lot more of these sorts of shots. Please don't worry. There's going to be slow-mo. It's going to be bike porn, frankly. So it should be an 1132 cassette at the back, together with a standard compact 3450 at the front. It's got slightly deeper dish wheels than I'm used to. These are 35mm to make it slightly more aero. Oh, and also, it's a mid-motor, I didn't tell you. So, no motor at the back on the hub. So the wheels are standard. You could swap them in and out with anything else you fancy. The motor is in that bottom bracket area. And to say that it's discreet, from this side in particular, I'll show you the other side in a moment, but from this side, that's barely bigger than a standard carbon frame bottom bracket area. And the down tube, considering it's got a 410, forgive me if that's wrong, watt-hour battery in there, is absolutely remarkable. I'm quite keen to switch it on because the whole system, like the Orbea again has a iWalk 1 control button in the top tube here. For this BH iAerolight, the whole thing is controlled actually here in the top of the stem. So I have switched it on now, so you can see that the LEDs are very unobtrusive in this stem. You can't see them until they're lit. It's completely dark until they're lit. So this shows that it's charging, and also it's slightly less than half charged. And these buttons will obviously, as the battery gets used, they'll decrease in number. So you've got, just with a glance down, you can see exactly what the state of your battery is. And the level of assist changes just with the colour of these. They're green now, but they change through the various colours. But we'll get into that later. This is an unboxing, this is not a, it's maybe a first impressions too. But that cockpit is absolutely super clean. Not a cable, not a hose pipe to be seen. So you can see here, that's the only bit of cable. Well, it's not a cable, of course. It's the hydraulic hose for the Ultra discs. And I'm actually looking at the discs are different from my Ultra ones because they have this extra part here. I don't think that's aero, although it could be. I'm wondering if it's actually for heat dissipation, which is a good thing because I've actually had my brakes fade on a long bad downhill once. But that does look slippery. It does look like there's a lot of space for larger tyres. These are 28s. I currently ride with 32s on mine. There's definitely space for a bit more. You could definitely go 32. I'll find out exactly what it's capable of taking. I'd imagine 32 would be about it comfortably. But what a beautiful thing. It's got these dropped seat stays, which are all the rage, but it's also got a completely invisible seat post clamp, and I believe there might even be a light in here. I'm not sure if that's with this model. So I'm somewhere beyond excited at the moment. I'm just waiting for the battery to finish charging. I put some socks on this morning without knowing the colour of the bike. It's a sign. Well, I'm just about to head off for my first ride. I do hope the colour comes out. It is absolutely just a gorgeous, gorgeous colour. Deep metallic red, two-tone. Well, first impressions on the bike. It's really fast. It's a lot faster than my Gain. It's absolutely effortless to take it over the assist level. So I'm poodling along at about 28 with
just no effort. It's extremely easy to ride. The other thing I've noticed, the motor is cute. The sound it makes. It sounds like, well, it sounds like a flying saucer. I can't explain it better than that. Instead of it sounding like an electric motor, it sort of whirs. But it's a very, very favourable first impression. It's a much more aggressive geometry than a bike that I'm used to. This is a proper racing bike rather than an endurance bike, but it just feels swift, scarily swift. Things like the steering response is a lot quicker than I'm used to, despite the stem being actually longer than I'm used to. The whole thing is also very, very light. I haven't weighed this iAerolight 1.8, but it's probably close to 12 kilos, whereas my older, albeit again, was closer to 14 kilos, and with a range extender up near 15. So it definitely feels lighter just lifting it around the place. That is just a completely beautiful bike. It looks modern and fast, and it actually is modern and fast. Can you see what I mean about how sort of integrated that motor is? It's a bottom bracket mid motor. It should be huge. Let me show you from the other side though. It does become more apparent. There. So there's a slight bulge on this side, but even then, that to me is absolutely remarkable. So there's another nice thing about the bike. The assist doesn't cut off at 25. It starts reducing, so you can hear it rather than feel it. So you get to 25, 25.4, and this little UFO in your bottom bracket sort of it just makes a lovely noise. You can hear it just slowly reducing. The tone goes down just a little, like it's landing, like the UFO's landing, and it fades to nothing by about 27. So it isn't an immediate everything or nothing like the earliest gains that they fixed with the new X20 system, but it's a gradual thing, and it feels much more natural. The other thing that's more natural about the bike is how it gets its information. It's based on cadence, power and speed, all three, and it does make a very, very natural feel to cycling. At the moment the cadence seems quite high, in that I'm quite naturally a slow pedal turner because my legs are absolutely ginormous, so I don't at 90 I'm going fast. At 90 revs, I've noticed that when I've slowed, just because I've been looking at things, I've noticed that the assist starts dropping out. So it's something that's probably variable, but I haven't looked yet. I didn't really tell you, the bike arrived early, so I'm partially prepared for its arrival and to talk about it. But seeing as this is first impressions, we don't really need a lot of absolute detail. It's just my first impressions. And my first impressions are, well, it's a remarkable bike. It's a remarkable bike. It just feels very natural, very fast, and very light. Doesn't feel like an e-bike at all. This is some beast. I'm already at the halfway point of my intended ride today. Now, the thing about this halfway point, it will make a 30-kilometre ride, which is just right, because I haven't been out very much of late, and this is a new bike to me. I'm already finding the seat not quite to my liking. But the thing is, we're in a little town called Binebra, on the side of the River Ebro. And just to the north of here is the most phenomenal hill. It's the hill where I've tried to do 100 kilometers an hour on my gain on, and so far I've just failed. I've done 98.6, I think it was. Well, it's a heck of a climb. If only I had a bike that had a little bit more go, a little bit more power than the gain. Maybe something like 65 Newton meters rather than the claimed 40 for the X35 gain. Well, hold on, I'm on one. So we're going to climb. Hopefully, if you're seeing this, we've climbed it. At the moment, I don't know if I'll make it. It's a horrendous, long 14% climb of at least 2 kilometers, averaging 14. It gets steeper than that, but it's already started, so I'm going to put you away for now because it's already quite hard work. I need to change up the assist. Right, well, this is 14%. I've got the assist on maximum. I'm in second gear and I'm trying to keep my cadence quite high, and it's getting quite hard, but I'm still talking to you, so it's pretty good. This is one of the areas where the old gain fell down, because on very steep hills the motor, which is in the hub, is rotating a lot slower than it is happy doing. But with a mid motor and the motor at the bottom bracket, it's used to rotating slower, so it's built to rotate slower, and it's just a difference in your cadence. So this motor chucking out 65 Newton meters is actually finding it quite easy, despite me being aboard. So it's not a solid steep 14%. It's got flat bits and it's got ramps like these. I'm not too sure what these are. I haven't been able to get a Garmin mount to fit the handlebars yet, so it's in my pocket, so I can't tell you how steep this bit is. Looks bloody steep though, doesn't it? I've made it to the top. I thought I'd have to stop halfway. Not only did I not have to stop, but it wasn't too difficult. I'm not saying it was easy. It goes up to 16%, I think. At least when it was quite steep, I did fish around in my pocket for my Garmin. 16% was the maximum. So I've just come up that in third gear, but with the assist on maximum. It's well, it's quite potent. The motor is quite potent, and it's very confidence inspiring. Now all we've got to do is turn around and charge down this hill and see how fast we can go. It's not going to be too fast because there have been some tractors out on the road and there's a lot of mud and gravel, and it's a little bit sketchy in parts, so we'll see how we do. It's also wet, so there's a few bends that I'd probably take a bit easier than I normally would. And finally, I wasn't expecting to climb this hill, so I don't have my chest mount with me, so you'll be here but only in spirit, because I won't be able to hang on to the camera. So I'll let you know how we do when we get to the bottom. I won't know how fast I'm going, but I'll certainly try to go as fast as I can, bearing in mind the conditions. So last time I went down that hill, it was on an Orbea Kemen MTB, or a sort of MTB hybrid, and I did 87.7 kilometers an hour. Now, I truly don't know how fast that was. It didn't feel any faster, whether that's because this bike is just sort of soaks up speed a bit easier, or it just wasn't very fast, I don't know. I wasn't as comfortable as on my gain. It's a brand new bike, I've only been riding it for about an hour, maybe not even that. Well, we'll find out. So there we have it. It's the first ride on the BH. You get the same sensory intensity on a first ride on a new bike as you might from fighting to the death in an arena filled with bloodthirsty spectators, or maybe sort of risky sex in a hotel lift with a complete stranger. Well, almost. It's on a par. Yeah, it's pretty close to them. It's been a fantastic first ride. I'm going to be doing plenty more rides on this bike, and I hope you join me for them all. And until then, thanks for watching.